What I'm trying to say is anytime you suggest to them, hey, I'm the therapist and I'm going to help you, what does their subconscious do?
They become suspicious. What do you see? Are you
Uh-huh.
seeing me naked?
Exactly. Yeah. What is
They
she writing
become,
down? Is there something wrong with me? Why did she write that down? Like, or sometimes you'll see a therapist do something like this. They'll get their pen out and do like, or like, this kind of thing or this kind of thing. What is that telling the client? She's nervous. She's thinking something's wrong with me. She's evaluating me. Look at it right now. It's just a different feel than when I'm just sitting here neutral. Or, for example, sometimes when I'm dealing with children and they say something cool, I'll be like, really? Tell me more. And I'll come up into the screen. Because then they feel like, oh, she wants me. She wants to get close to me. But then sometimes when somebody says something to me that's really weird or negative, I'm like, and then I'll lean all the way back. And I mean, I do those things on purpose, but see, they're all triggering psychotic insight because now the client is thinking, something's happening. There's a reaction going on. So sometimes you can use it to your advantage. But what I'm trying to say right now is the opposite, which is don't invite any psychotic insight because you don't know where it's going to go. If you don't know where it's going to go, then you don't want to mess with it. All you want is to be that thing I said at the beginning when I showed the picture of myself, which is chill, relaxed, nothing, nothing to evaluate, just trust, total trust. So psychotic insight is what we're trying to avoid, which is telling the client that we've begun. When you say to somebody, what's the problem? It's like 1 millisecond away from triggering psychotic insight. And for some people, it does. For some people, immediately they're like, I don't want to talk about the problem. It tends to be okay where we can just make a conversation happen from it. But now I'm going to show you that sometimes that is even too much. It doesn't help. Any other questions? By the way, Patrick, there's another Bruce Lee quote, which is a punch is a punch and a kick is a kick until I don't remember the whole quote, but I think that one is very important also, which is in ACH, you think a punch is a punch and a kick is a kick. When you get to level two, you know which punch and which kick because you've done a lot of experience and you've done a lot of work. So now you don't have to like evaluate each punch and each kick, which is evaluating each question and each movement. Now it's more like, oh, based on my black belt experience, I just trust my intuition. And by the way, everybody, like 100% of my sessions are intuitive. Like, you guys all want to know, well, how did you know what the next question is? The answer is, I don't know. I did what I'm trying to teach you today. So let's work on it. Okay, so can I have we're going to take a break at 2. Can I have a volunteer?
can I
To,
ask a question
oh,
first?
yeah, please go ahead. Yep, you can always.
Um, so how do you make sure, I understand the philosophy, but uh, okay, cognitively then, how do we make sure that your motivational questions don't become fantasizing or just daydreaming or stay in the coaching arena?
What's wrong with fantasizing and daydreaming? Just out of curiosity.
Okay, so how do they become and get stuck in not actually changing? So there's nothing wrong with fantasizing and daydreaming.
Right.
We all do it. I love to do it, but it doesn't actually get the job done, or it doesn't actually change me.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I love that you asked that. So I think you'll see as the day goes on how I mix them up together, or, problem solving questions and motivational questions. But the answer that I want to give to you is everything that I do is client led. Do you know what entrainment means? Do you know what the word entrainment means? Anybody? Do you know it? Entrainment is to me what defines Ericksonian approach, the Ericksonian approach. Entrainment means whatever the client gives me, I lead them into that. They're always right. The client is always right. It's like at a restaurant, the client is always right, but this is like 20 million times more powerfully that, which is what I mean when I say don't judge them. Don't judge their politics. Don't judge their solution. Don't judge who they are. Don't even care about it. Because the more in agreement I am with them, the more I can hear what they're asking me for. And the more I know what they want, the more I can give it to them. So I know you're like, what the hell is she talking about? This isn't an answer to my question, but I haven't quite answered the question yet, which is if I am not forcing a solution, if my presence is enough to listen to where they're going, and I affirm that to them, then they will take the next step and I will follow that. Does that make sense to you, Naomi? It's a little bit strange. Like, oh, motivation. Yay, I want to lose weight for my kids. That'll be so much fun. Okay, now I motivate them more. Okay, now they're motivated more. Now we're into fantasy where they're skinny and they're wearing their outfit and they feel great and the sun is shining. Great. Then the next thing they're going to say to me is, but next week I have a party and I'm going to eat the cake. Because their mind is going to say, oh, the fantasy, the fantasy. Oh, I love the fantasy, but I paid you $2,500 to solve it. And then they're going to tell me, oh, but the problem is this. And then I hear, oh, she's not motivated anymore. I need to solve the problem now. So then what do I do?
You're asking me?
Anyone? Yep, you can answer.
Go back to ACH?
Yeah. Entrainment means what they said they want, I give it to them. It's like the best sex in the world, right? Like that's what makes a great sexual chemistry is you can feel what they want, they can feel what you want. You don't have to like, sometimes it's fun to say it out loud, but sometimes it's just mind reading. Mostly it's mind reading. Hypnosis is the same. Oh, she wants to be affirmed. Oh, she wants to be encouraged. Oh, she wants me to dig into this problem. Instead of, oh, here's your problem. Let's dig right into it because you paid me to. You know what I mean? It's not the same. So how do you get not lost in the fantasy is wait for the steam of the fantasy to come back to reality because it will, because the client is not stupid and they're not going to leave in a fantasy state knowing their problem still exists. And wait for them to tell you, oh, but my stomach still hurts. Oh, but my head is still hurting. Oh, but I know that when I get home, I'm not going to be able to. And then you're like, oh, so tell me more about that. Why? What is going to happen when you get home? And then they think that they started it. See how much different that is than me saying to them, well, when do you eat the candy? That's not the same as, oh, yeah, it would be really fun to play with my kids, but I'm probably going to eat a chocolate bar later. It's the same information, but the direction of it is not the same. So the answer is whatever the client wants is what they get. The more the client gets what they want, the more their subconscious gets excited to work with you. Because that's what the subconscious has wanted all its life. Like that's what's so beautiful about our job is this is not very complicated. It's very simple. The subconscious is what it is, and we show up and treat it as what it is. If you make it feel safe and loved and connected and comfortable and like you're never gonna fucking fuck it up, then it will volunteer everything. But if you start putting your fingers in it and start scratching around in it, then it starts to feel offended by you. So like it's a delicate balance, right? Like I do think that's the skill set that we're evolving is like, well, how do we do both and get it done in 90 minutes? And by the way, while we're on this topic, and I'm going to do the demo in a second here, why are you worth $1,500? Why are you, I'm worth $2,500 right now, which is not even enough. Why can I justify that? Because who else do you know in your life who can motivate as well as solve a problem in 90 minutes or less? Nobody. It's very, very unique and very interesting. And you have to do stuff that Nobody is willing to do. Joanna?
My question is because I have experienced the magic of letting go of the pressure of solving the problem for the client, and I see myself, despite having experienced the magic of this simplicity, I see myself always going back to complicating the
Yeah,
thing.
of course. That's right. You're human.
But my question regarding what you just said about the price is, my client, they have so many problems, not just one. So I feel like, do you charge for one problem? And because it feels like there is so much potential to really have
Yeah.
a holistic view on, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. Great question. I mean, I want you to ask it again on day 3 if you come back for day
yeah,
3, because
yeah.
I can really, I could speak on that topic for an hour. But the long story short is no, the clients only have one problem. They have many symptoms of their problem. Like I had a lady the other day. Okay, she came to me for weight loss, but then in the course of the conversation, she's like, also, I'm in a rage with my husband and I throw things at him. And also, I'm not sleeping well. And also, I'm not performing that great at work. Okay, well, a coach would be like, oh, that's a $10,000 problem, 2,500, 2,500, 25. Like those are a lot of problems. But what I said to her is, those are spokes on a wheel. Sometimes you can't sleep. Sometimes you're angry. Sometimes you're dysregulated. Sometimes you're eating. But everything you're doing is because of something that's bothering you. And by the way, right then and there, I'm almost saying too much, because if I give that away to her on the discovery call, she's going to realize, oh, there's a level that I can look into that will solve all of these things. So I don't want to like be too, explanatory about it right off the bat. But the way I'm thinking about it in my own head is that's a cascade healing effect, which is why the subconscious is where I'm going. Because once we unravel one of those problems, all of them will start to unravel together. And why I will never change careers, because I love that weirdness. And why am I even telling you that? And because the question you asked me is, do I charge for all the problems? No. I'm a one-hit wonder. It's like, no, you come to me and you feel better, period. What's the list of things? Who cares? I mean, really. That's why I said at the start and why I did this day the way I'm doing it, which is don't judge the size, don't judge the type, don't judge the type of problem, don't judge the person, don't judge anything. Don't care. I mean, it's just like a weird course to teach. I was telling Jim last night, okay, so I'm going to tell them for $1,000, stop caring, stop listening to what they're even saying. Don't even read the forums. I mean, like, no, I do all that stuff because I'm a professional. I don't want to get sued and I don't want to get into trouble. So, like, I do my job correctly. But, like, does it matter what they write on the forum? Not really. Does it matter what they say the problem is? Not really. All I'm doing is creating trust by knowing all that stuff. Like, read the form so that when they say, and I saw my doctor last week, you can be like, oh, yeah, I saw that on the forum. Because that creates trust, not because it helps solve the problem. Sky, what was weird about that? I saw you go subconscious there. No, you're thinking about something else. Okay. But I mean, so Joanna, the question was, what was the question?
The question is, how do you do only one session?
Yeah,
Not to solve one
I don't.
symptom.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the answer is I don't care. You're caring about, well, how will I fit in all these problems and how will I do one after another? So you already have a conception that you're working. Like, are you categorizing it being like, so I have to solve their biggest problem first?
No, it's not that. It's just that the depths we go into the session, I feel like it opens a door where the client, they want to go back to this exploration more.
Yeah.
And I don't see how I will ask those questions on day 3 if you want.
Well, and I mean, here's another thing about it is, why do I have to be present for everything that happens? All I have to do is open the door. My job is not to correct everything. My job is to create conditions of correction. So I tell people in my discovery call, It's a domino effect. I will not knock every domino down with you. I will help you start the dominoes, and then you will go into your life and watch the dominoes and report back to me. You see how easy that is? Like, I will help you to figure out how to create momentum, and you will have the responsibility for the momentum. And I will not come and ask you later, how's your momentum going? If you want to report to me, you can. And by the way, that's the key to how I get all of my bazillions of reviews, which everybody wants to know. How do I get so many of them? I prime the clients to give them to me. That's exactly how I get them, is I hypnotize them into that too, because it helps them, it helps me help other people if I have them. So I tell them in advance, you'll let me know when all this great shit happens, because I can't wait to hear about it. Well, then when the great shit happens, of course they want to tell me because I told them that's what was going to happen. So I'm just the landmark. I'm just a stopping point. You know, Kierkegaard said the teacher is the vanishing point. You know what a vanishing point is in a painting? A vanishing point is the part of the painting that all the other angles are determined by, but it's the middle of nothing. It's nowhere. So like the vanishing point of a beautiful painting could be like right here, but there's nothing here. But all the angles in the painting are somehow based on that. That's us. We're a vanishing point. And that's exactly what I want to be, is vanishing. I do not want to like stick around because I'm not a therapist. If you want to open a therapy practice, do that, but that's not the same. And by the way, sometimes people buy follow-up package with me. If they want to work on a bazillion things, of course I'm going to do it. Like I have a few people doing a 9-pack right now. That's fine. That's a product that I sell. It's just not my flagship product. And I'll talk about that more on day 3. It took me a while to figure that out. Sky?
We are not hearing you, Sky.
Oh, yeah, you're muted.
I was trying the space key, it didn't work.
Sorry. You have to keep it held down. You have to like
Okay.
keep just happening.
My face before, because I wasn't sure if I heard you correctly. So you were saying that you'll reference, oh, I saw that in your pre-form just to show like interest. Like, is that what you're saying? Okay.
Everything is rapport in hypnosis. Everything is rapport. Like, I don't want to say to you, don't read the forms because they're conscious and irrelevant, because that's not really professional or responsible. I mean, like, does the dentist read our form in detail? I don't know. But I mean, I know she's familiar with my past. I wouldn't want her to like not care about who I am, period. So like I go with that kind of approach. I mean, like, if they say the name of their kid, write that shit down. Like, don't ask them 50 times, oh, what was that kid's name again? What was that kid's name again? Like, I check that in my notes before they appear in front of me again. Or if they say, oh, my power animal is a squirrel, I write down power animal squirrel, because I don't want to be like on the next call in 3 weeks being like, was it a dragon? Like that's not very inviting to somebody's subconscious. But I do want to be like, hey, how's that squirrel action going? And then they'll be like, woo, weird. How does she know about my inner squirrel? So like I'm very careful, and I have an excellent memory, by the way. If you don't have a great memory, like work on your memory. I have an excellent memory for details, and I have an excellent memory for what's happening. And even the way they look, even the way they move, even the way they wear their hair, like everything. I'm watching everything all the time, obsessively. And I'm also not. Because when they appear before me more and more and more and more, the more trust they have, the faster they'll transform. You see, it's all MOS. I just want to make more money. And I'm not that really a deeply compassionate person. I am, but that's not the basis of why it's working. The basis of why it's working is because I love challenging myself as an entrepreneur, and I want to go faster and faster. I want to be like the fastest ACHer alive. There's no way to become that fast without like a plethora of data, like so much data. But how can you hold that much data in your intellect? You can't. It's subconscious. Do you know that the subconscious holds a million pieces of data in the time that the conscious mind can like runs out at 10 or 12? So like, for example, here's a dinosaur with polka dots wearing a hat, you know, wearing shorts, carrying a backpack, walking to New Delhi. Like, that's about it. The subconscious at this point is already like, was he wearing a hat? Did he have shorts on? Was he polka dotted or starred? You know, like that's the conscious mind. The conscious mind can only do so much. But the subconscious, I could lay out a huge scene there and it would just keep filling it in. That's what I'm working with, is that like everything. Okay, let's do an example of it. Any other questions first? Sometimes I teach this course, I'm like, do they even know what I'm talking about? Did that make any sense, what I said? Okay. Any other questions?